Okay, so this video is it's not fancy. There's no fancy animation. I'm not dressed up to the nines. I don't have a face on. I don't have the perfect background. It's not going to be perfect. It's basically me, which is not perfect. And you know, the most unfortunate thing about that is because it's not perfect, because it's not flashy, because there's not some instrumental orchestra in the background creating some amazing music that's going to make you feel better and better and better. People are probably not going to watch this because it's just me. And I'm sharing my journey through being a victim. And not only being a victim, but, and so many people are going to disagree with this, but this is how I see it, being forced into being a victim. I didn't choose to be a victim. I did not choose to be abused. I did not choose, and I know that there are people that will say, but you chose this life, you chose to come into this physical body, and you chose. No one knows that. None of us know that for sure. We don't know. People have beliefs that say, we chose this life. I chose this physical body. I chose the family. But that's a belief. And I think that's a belief that makes people feel better about their shitty little lives. Or it makes them cover up how they feel, how they truly feel about their shitty little lives. And I do not want to spend my life covering up how I feel about my life. I do not want to spend my life saying, this life was the best life for me because it made me who I am. I mean, it's just the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. I every time I hear someone, and I hear it a lot, especially in interviews, people talk about how horrible their life was. And then at the end they say, but if it wasn't for my life, I wouldn't be who I am right now. And I just think, what the hell? Just be in the fact that you had a shit life. And it is what it is. It is what it is. I think part of the reason why I'm in the victim, and I find it so hard to get out of the victim, is that denial, is that distraction, that cover up, that refusal to own the fact, like really own, not just own mentally, but own emotionally, that my life was shit, that my family were my abusers. And none of them will say that they were my abusers. None of them will agree with me saying that. They will all say that they'll say that I was selfish, that I was I think they just say I was selfish. And I was, absolutely, but I'm looking at how I'm raising my daughter now, because I'm raising her with the awarenesses that I was not raised with. And I am raising her with the awareness that if someone is going through something and she makes it about her, and it's kind of hard to explain. I feel like I've gone off on a tangent that I didn't actually really want to go off on. So let me bring it back, because that doesn't even make sense. And that's okay. I didn't come into doing this video. There's no feed that I'm reading from. I didn't take notes. I didn't come into this wanting to say anything in particular. I think I came into this video in the victim, like really in the victim, with these thoughts in my head saying, this isn't flashy enough for people. You're not pretty enough for people. This video isn't professional enough for people. You don't have the perfect, shiny, teethy smile. You don't have a face full of makeup. You don't have your hair done. You don't have the right lighting. You're just not made for video. And so I've come into this video with this belief that I'm not made for video. But what I kind of really wanted to share was that living a life being raised as a victim, being programmed as a victim, being forced into victimhood, and then trying to get out of that it's hard. It's really hard. I came up with a kind of a description that worked for myself the other day, which was, I feel like I'm sitting next to the car of my life. I'm sitting on the ground outside, and I'm bashing my head against the car. But while I'm bashing my head against the car, I know the only way forward is to get up, open the door, sit in the driver's seat, start the car and drive. I know that. I know that's what I have to do. But I keep sitting on the ground bashing my head. And I don't know why. I don't know why. And I just tried a digital detox. I tried to get off my phone and get away from the addiction of Facebook and YouTube, and get away from the addiction of noise. And I did it for a couple of days, and then I could feel the pull. I could feel the pull pulling me back to my phone. And it was so subtle. Like, the way my brain does it is so subtle. It makes these tiny little remarks. Oh, just pick up the phone and check your email. And then another day it'll be, oh, just watch a movie. It's okay. You haven't watched a movie for days. Just watch a movie. And then it's, oh, just check Facebook. It's okay. Just check Facebook. Have a look at Facebook. It'll be fine. And it's like these tiny little subtle thoughts until I am back on Facebook, and I'm back on YouTube, and I'm back on my phone, and I'm back to feeling like a worthless sack of shit, because I can't not be in that addiction. And it's frustrating, because there's this part of me that says, I don't know how to get out of this. And then there's this other part of me that goes, of course you do. Victim is a choice. Victim is a choice now. I didn't grow up with the choice because I didn't have the awareness. I did not have the awareness as a 12-year-old or even as an 18-year-old or even as a 20-something-year-old. I didn't have the awareness that I have now in my 40s. The awareness is completely different. But now I have the awareness. I am aware of how I feel when I'm in my victim. I am aware of the pull. It's very subtle, but I am aware of it. That noise is my dog. I am aware of the pull. I am aware of how it feels. I don't know how to stop it though. I don't know how to stop it. It is such a deeply embedded program that stems from my entire family and abuse for years. Like, we're not just talking a little bit of abuse over a year or two. The abuse is still here. It hasn't gone. It started when I was a kid and it's still here. So that's like 40 odd years of constant abuse. And it's something that I feel every day. And I don't want to get into the specifics of what the abuse is, but it is abuse. It's emotional abuse. It's every day. It doesn't go away. Even I've had to remove myself from my entire family because I can't handle it. I cannot handle the level of abuse that they throw at me. So I've had to remove myself from my entire family so I don't have to participate in it every day. But it's still here every day because I've had to remove myself from my entire family to be able to handle just existing on a daily basis. And I was really, the way I was raised has left me with a feeling of being completely insignificant, and nothing was ever expected of me. Nothing was ever expected. I was not expected to be good at school. I was not expected to succeed. I was not expected to achieve anything. And when you've got that level of low expectation on yourself, you basically end up with a mindset of extremely low expectations and extremely low abilities, like extremely low abilities. So trying to create a life when you're programmed into such low expectations and being so insignificant and being so small is really hard. And I have watched all the speakers and I've watched all the interviews and I've done some programs, and it all makes sense, and they're all right in all their different tools and all their different ways of getting out of this. But what they haven't shared is, and I think they haven't shared it because maybe none of them are in this position. I understand they've all gone through elements of victimhood and they've all gone through hard lives. And maybe this is my victim, because I also know that the victim does go, nobody has my kind of life. No one has this problem. No one has this challenge. And that is the victim. That's the victim isolating the self, which makes it harder, because if you've got that voice that keeps saying, but that's not relevant to you because they haven't had your life and they don't know. it's this constant need to push against all of these beliefs that mean that I am 100% insignificant in this world. And someone actually asked me, wasn't that long ago, they said, why do you think your family abused you? And I looked at her and I said, I was abused simply for existing. Just my pure existence was the reason for the abuse. And that all comes because my dad had an affair when my mom was pregnant with me. And she found out a couple of days before I was born. So I was born into this dysfunctional, emotional, traumatic experience for my mum and also other people in the family. And yet I was the seemingly catalyst for that. So I was raised from day one with emotional abuse and neglect. And what that has done is set up this belief that says my pure existence is enough reason for me not to be liked. Sorry. I have a cat on my lap and now I have a cat on the computer. Let me just move on. Come on, honey. Oh, hop down, darling. Hop down, or you can sit there. She's probably going to jump up again. Come on, up here. Here you go. So I'm just going to talk while she sits in front of the computer. So having this, sorry for the cat, but can you move over that side? Yeah, move over that side. So having that level of belief that simply existing is enough reason to not be liked, because no one in my family liked me. No one in my family liked me. To have that be your reality, it's really hard. It's really hard to get out of. It's really hard. And I have been creating all of these videos that I haven't put up because I just don't think that I'm good enough for people to watch. And I just don't think that I am someone that people want to see. I'm not flashy. I'm not pretty. I'm not loud. I don't know. I don't have the pretty video. I just have me. And so many of the videos that I watch, especially the women, they're just so pretty. Their teeth are white and their hair's done and their face is up and they've got beautiful clothes and they're so smiley. And I'm not that. Not when I'm here, not when I'm in the trauma, not when I'm in the emotion, not when I'm in this. I might be if I was somewhere else, but I'm not somewhere else. I'm here. So it always stops me putting up these videos. But I will put this one up and I will put it on Facebook and I will see what happens. Sorry for the cat, but come on, honey, up down. Yeah, I'll put this one up and I will see what happens. And I'm sorry that it's just me. And I'm sorry that I'm not flashy. And I'm sorry that I'm not pretty. And I'm sorry that I've got dogs making noises and cat butts in front of the camera. And but I'm tired of not putting up these videos. I want to share my stuff because I don't see anyone else doing this. I don't see anyone else sharing from the space of where they are. And I find it hard to relate to people sometimes from where I am. And I want to share how I unravel this intense victim, because I know I can unravel it and I know that there's a way through it. And I know that I can come out the other side and be pretty and be flashy and be shiny. But I want to see someone that's going through the journey so I can see the journey and go, oh, and actually see the change, see the transformation, see the shift. That's my dog. He's got a squeaky toy. I want to see that. So maybe I want to see it in myself. Yeah, I better go let the chickens out because it's 8 o'clock in the morning and I normally let them out before then. And also the dogs are going to be crazy. So I better go and let them out too. If you watch this, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. Feel free to comment, say something nice. Don't abuse me. Don't give me shit. Don't be an asshole. Say something if you've got something nice to say. I would appreciate hearing it. If you need to be an asshole, go and be an asshole on your own page. I know everybody has an opinion. That doesn't mean you have to share it. Create your own video. If you want to be an asshole, create your own video. Talk about my video on your video. Be real. Be real. Show your face. Be honest. Take your shit and put it on your own video. That's just my opinion. I know people are opinionated and they like to shit all over everybody, putting their stuff out there in whatever form it comes in. Yeah, I'm going to take this very raw, very sore part of me outside to let the chickens out. And I will see about putting up the other videos that I've done in the past. Because some of them I've talked about the victim and the difference between being the type of victim I am and being the type of victim that other members in my family are. Because they're victims, but they're different. It's different. They don't have that really, really, really insignificant victimhood that I have. So they have a very different life, very different experience, extremely successful. Still a victim, but extremely successful victim, not the insignificant victim. Yeah, that's it for me right now. Thank you so much for watching.